Aloha everyone, I'm Cheryl Hamilton, and my video today I want to show you how to make a trifold card. And I think this is a great way to show off your designer series paper. And the paper I used in this one is called Pansy Petals. It's in the annual catalog. And then this beautiful flower stamp, and then it's got a die, is from Hand Pin Petals. And so anyway, I finally figured out a way to cut this and to get the designer series paper so that I didn't have to hand cut it. So stay tuned and I'll show you how to make this pretty card. Here's two cards that I've made, both basically the same. I just switched the designer series paper around, and just really pretty. And I do love these Hand Pin Petals stamps too, and the font in this is really nice. And here's another. It's got a little bit of Wink of Stella in it, which you can't see, but it's there. It's really nice. So to make these cards, I start with fresh freesia cardstock. Oops. And I'm going to cut it 8.5 by 5.5. And then I'm scoring it at first at 2 1/8, and then at 4.5, which is the center fold, just like that. And then I am going to want to cut it from this fold in the middle down here. Remember, I'm cutting it from this line. I hope you guys can see, from my center line down to the 2.5 mark. And there's another score line right there. That's how you know it's the front. Okay, so you're gonna score and fold it. My desk is kind of a really bad mess, so I'm gonna I had to find my bone folder. You're scoring it and folding it in half, and then this front part gets folded back. For the inside of the card, I've cut the designer series paper at 5 1/4 by 4. And so I'm going to end up putting that in there. And then I have a piece of basic white that's cut at 4 3/4 by 3.5. And I'm going to stamp them using fresh freesia. I'm going to stamp the thanks. And this is again from Hand Pin Petals, and I really like the font on this one. I usually stamp before I glue, and it's mainly so that if I make a mistake, I can turn it over. Okay, so that looks okay. And here's soft succulent. I wanted to use soft succulent for these little petals. This is really a great little image. I like it. And very simple, but you'll see what it does. And then this also comes in there, and these are the little fresh freesia flowers. Isn't that pretty? It's really simple to do, and I really like that image. And I lost, here's the Tombow. That side would be really pretty too, but I like those gingham checks. Okay, so I got the inside done. For the designer series paper, I'm going to put on these two panels. You cut a piece of designer series paper 5 1/8 inches by 4, and it's really important to check your up and down, because You don't want it to go on sideways. And the other thing you're checking next, see, this part doesn't matter, but this does. So I'm going to want to start at the top corner, and I'm cutting down to 2 3/4. Okay, so I'm just going to measure it. And put a little mark right there. And again, before you cut, just think about it again. Hold it up, and you're going from this corner down to there. You guys see it? I guess so. So that's my point, and then I'm going right down to the 2 3/4 mark, just slicing that off. And then I want to cut it in half this way. So just to make it straight, to help me out, I'm going to turn it over, put it up against this border right there, and cut it at 2. So there I have my 2 Designer Series paper pieces that should fit perfectly. We'll see. So when I put this one here, yeah, that fits great. And then I'll do this, and you turn it over, and it's going to be like that. Okay, so let me glue those down. And of course, I could have started with this side and cut it down, and then you would have had the reverse, where you have the checked up this way and the pansies down here. So just play around with it. I like having variety in my cards. It's more fun. And I'll put this one. There you go. Now all I have to do is do something here. I want to show you some of my bloopers so that I did these for you and you don't have to repeat them. Let me see what I've done. Oh, here was a good one. So that was a really pretty paper that I had all set to go here. But I mean, I just can't do it because the flowers are upside down. So that was my first, that's probably my worst one. Did I do it again? No? Yeah. Oh, okay. So this one would work. I don't know what happened here. It's just too long. So, but anyway, it's the upside down flower that you want to avoid. I've cut a large circle from Fresh Freesia using layering circles just to give it a background. And then I'm going to stamp this large flower image from Pansy Petals. And I'm going to stamp it using soft succulent because I tried it and I really like that. So there it is. That is really pretty, especially when you cut it out. So let me color it first, and then I'll come back. I'm using light soft succulent. These are my Stampin' Blends, which I use all the time. Use them with a light touch because if you press down too hard, it kind of will hurt the brush tip and it won't be as precise. You know, you want to still make them last as long as you can. And of course, I could have used, it also comes with a dark soft succulent, but I'm just making this simple. I don't know if this one right here is supposed to be a leaf or a flower, so I'll just, the last one I made it a flower. I colored it purple, but I'm going to see what this looks like. Okay, now I've got my Fresh Freesia Stampin' Blends. I think I'll start with dark, and I just gonna do a few different areas for, I usually do the shaded areas. This part doesn't have any shaded, so I'm just picking a few of the petals. And then the rest I'm going to do in the light fresh freesia. I know this part you don't really need a video, but it's fun to see how these are done. Oh, it just needs a little sparkle from Stella. I'm going to go cut it out now. Okay, so I've cut my flower out. Really love that. And just going to add some dimensionals before I put it on the circle. It's nice to have the mini dimensionals too, because sometimes you just don't want those to show and you need a smaller one. Okay, and I'm going to put it right in the middle there. So just put glue on half of this. Just want to make sure I don't, oh look, I have glue on the back, so you have to be careful with that. Let me scoot it over a bit. And then get some of that off. You want to avoid doing that because you just don't want it to stick to your card. And somewhere, I still have one of these old glue erasers. You wait till the glue's kind of dry. And Stampin' Up! Used to sell these, and I hope they come back. Right now you can get them at a supply store, I think. But there you go. Isn't that pretty? I think it just needs a little Stella. If you don't have Stella, you have to get some of this because it's, you can add bling to almost anything. Can you guys see this? Probably not. Let me do this and see if you can see any. Can I just tell you, there's a little sparkle up there. I can see it. And it gets all sparkly and it's so pretty. No mess. Okay, so there's your card, and thanks so much for watching this. Hope you guys have a great day. Aloha.